welcome, JJ, man. We got you here.
Yeah, thank you, man.
I speak for everybody when I say we're really happy to have you here.
Therefore,
very influential.
Yeah, I speak for me when I say I'm happy to be here.
That's what's up, man.
Because I'm the new person here.
You are, man.
Yeah,
the new guy.
Yeah, man.
Just member of the team.
I am.
So welcome to the podcast.
Yeah,
man.
thank you for having me, man.
Tell us about you, man. I don't want to big you up too much.
So I'm a writer, I'm a poet, a novelist, educator. I've written. So I guess the last thing I did was my debut novel that came out close to 2 years now. It's 2 years in June. No Place to Call Home. I've got another book coming out in September, which is just starting the promo soon, or should be starting the promo soon, called Mask Off, which is about masculinity and kind of like being a man in the modern era, and just like looking at different cultures and like different historical periods and stuff, where like in certain cultures where it's even like now where it's cool for a man to walk down the road and hold hands and stuff, like Nigeria, Congo, etc. But like here in London, like you do that, it's a bit funny, isn't it? And people, especially if like two young black men or whatever, and so just looking at how like masculinity is affected in different cultures and different settings, and doing a couple things as well, trying to get into theatre, so working on a couple plays that we're doing, hopefully trying to put into production. So just trying to write, man, trying to write. So
because it kind of ties in with our theme for today. Would you ever feel like, or do you ever feel like you could make your first book, No Place to Call Home? Could you think that would be able to cross over into like theatre?
Oh, that theatre definitely, even film. Like I would honestly like. So Netflix tweeted. Do you see? I don't know if you saw. Yeah, Netflix tweeted. Netflix tweeted. They're looking for. So they've been commissioning a series of novel adaptations to books. I don't know if you guys saw You. I haven't seen it, but I know exactly what you're talking about. Right, so You was actually originally a novel.
Okay.
And so they've been like commissioning quite a few. Obviously, it's more US based. And I tweeted them and I was like, "Hey, boo, like you look like, hey, slide in my DMs." And they got loads of retweets and people were like, "Netflix, you got to do this." But it's obviously like,
just keep the wave going.
You got to kind of like.
Are you sure they didn't DM you?
They haven't DM'd me yet.
But check your.
Yeah, you got to check your. There's a main one and there's the
other one.
You know what? Let me even double
check that one. I got messaged by them one time.
Is it?
And I completely missed it for like a year.
A year,
bro! I didn't know that inbox existed.
Oh, there's two inboxes.
God,
she have your
certain man have two inboxes.
So on Twitter, right, you have your main inbox, but then there's a tab that says
message request or something.
Yeah, message request.
It's basically for anyone who doesn't follow you.
Yeah. So yeah, man, check that.
Yeah, just double check, boy.
I know certain man's got bare messages in there. Yes, so check that inbox. Check that inbox.
You probably got bare messages in there.
I reckon
JJ, you probably got a few.
If Netflix has DM'd me and I've missed it,
could you imagine?
You man,
that's not even a bad.
Imagine they DM'd me when the book came out and was like, oh, that's a mad fumble, bro.
Are you tripping now? He's thinking about it.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, guys, I gotta go.
We're gonna go to break. Let JJ check his Twitter DMs.
Yo.
Nah, it's a madness, bro. Yeah, check that.
Yeah, definitely have to.
But yeah, man, so like, obviously, we have a good rapport going on because we've known each other for a while. Like, how do we, like, what's the history behind this relationship?
it's funny because we, especially everyone here, we go way back, and I know all you guys originally as rivals. As pagans, as enemies, people.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? Never meant to like you guys. It was on site. It was always on site, but on the court, obviously. And then just from then, as we get older, and we all kind of go through our different stages of life, and we continue to form connections and stuff. And what's been beautiful is like seeing everyone's transition from the basketball court to whatever it is they're passionate about in real life, like, do you know what I'm saying? Whether that's like creative stuff, whether that's business, whatever it is, you're seeing people. I think there's such a massive wave of influence from like the basketball community in other fields. Like for instance, if you look at even like Daps, who's doing like, do you know what I mean? I feel like no one really talks about that. If you look at Orenze, who's basically plays on like National Theatre, winning Olivier Awards and stuff, like no one's really talking about like where the influence comes from. Do you know what I'm saying? So I think like there's been a lot of guys that have done a lot for the culture that's come from like the same environment. So yeah, that's at the root of it, man. That competition. So, anytime anyone wants some buckets, just know that there's a squad here. You know?
Oh yeah.
This 5 right here is kind of solid. I can't even lie. It's
Tough.
I feel like we could legit compete at least D1. I say BBL.
No.
I mean,
let's slow down because we're gonna get tired first.
yeah,
quarter.
that's true.
First
No,
quarter,
if basketball games were 1 quarter,
Yeah,
I think we'll be nice.
Youth games.
Yo.
I was talking about youth games the other day. Like, what's the setup? Is it 2 halves? Like, what's the 2 halves?
Yeah,
Just
2
like-
halves. Of
2 halves, but 15 minutes and then running clock as well, and no
Yeah.
dunks. Oh my day! Listen, yeah, we played. Who I can't even remember.
me.
It was Westminster. Yo, listen, yeah, and they were you lot were fouling us all game. You were fouling us all game, yeah. Refs weren't calling nothing, and then we ended up losing. But basically, the last 10 seconds or something, like, or the last like 30 seconds, last minute, I basically just had enough. Got the ball and just like dunked it.
Grabbed the ball. Yeah.
Was it Crystal Palace?
Yeah, Crystal
I
Palace.
slightly
Two
remember
for 2
this, you
hands,
know?
yeah, and just
And then-
you're not allowed to dunk.
Yeah.
And if
Fuck
you get
this shit. And he dunked it.
if you dunk it, you get ejected
It
basically.
was the end of the game.
It was the end of the game, so I dunked it, and the ref sent me out.
The thing is, I know JJ had Barney's back in the day.
Can I, do you know what? Can I just say something about that? You know, the first time I saw him was at Rough and Ready.
Sheesh.
Right?
yeah.
I don't know if you guys remember Rough and Ready.
Rough and Ready.
That's taking it back. So I think there was like a competition. I don't know if it was a dunk competition or it was just even a warm up.
I think I might have
So
seen this
walked
dunk
in,
still.
This guy's standing underneath the plastic.
Yeah.
Through the legs, bang.
What'd
off
he
the
do?
Spot,
What did you do?
off the spot. He jumped off the spot
And did
through the legs.
through the legs?
Through the legs? No,
it wasn't through the legs. It was the pump reverse.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a pump. It was this one.
Yeah.
The
So
pump.
he-
It was a double pump thing.
he-
Are
But-
you sure?
Yeah,
I feel like Ibrahim might have done that.
Everyone was there.
Not off the floor.
Because I think Ibrahim, I remember seeing him do off the floor first. I can't remember if it was rough and ready, but I remember seeing him do it.
Yeah.
But when yours was the pump reverse, I remember.
Yeah.
Bro, that's disgusting. Like, the ball's on the floor, you just jump, you
good
bring it up,
times,
bring
man.
it down.
Do you know what's so funny as well? I played with somebody, right? That we heard that we were gonna play against you, and they couldn't stop talking. Like, oh my god, nah, he's gonna do this, he's gonna do that.
Say names,
I won't bet anyone.
We're old now.
But
man.
the way
gloves are off.
the way he
Yeah, the gloves are off, B.
Innit?
I swear.
Took that talk,
Yeah.
man.
What's up? Names.
Tag them.
LB.
My
It was
God.
a university game, yeah. It was a university
Oh,
game, yeah.
But when
He was at Greenwich. He was at Greenwich, bruv. And we travelled up to your place.
Yeah.
And like for some reason he couldn't stop, and he's like, "Bruv, let's relax, it's cool." Because you stunk the ball very angry, like he was angry. at the
Yeah,
box.
I'm not gonna lie,
Like, you
boy.
used
I
to
don't
really-
know why I was. Yeah, I think I had some
Like,
internal rage.
you-
Like.
bruv. So it's like when you used to like bang, it was like, oh my God, this guy, right.
Do you know what's funny about that? Sorry, no, go on, finish.
No,
your
no,
thought.
no.
The transition from seeing you play basketball to how you are as an actual person. It's night and day, man. It's night and day.
You know
When I
what?
first saw
Yeah.
you, my whole team was terrified. Everyone was terrified.
No way.
I swear.
It's so mad, yeah, because it's like basketball it's just a different energy. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And
definitely.
literally, like dunking the ball. That's why I love dunking. Was just like such a release of tension.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like just there's no other feeling of just like dunking the ball as hard as you possibly can. Like that was the best feeling. But off the court, I was just such a chill dude. I was just like so like just relaxed and just like carefree and whatever. So whenever like people we'd actually get the chance to hang out first time, I'd be like,
Intimidating.
"Oh yeah, Ashley," and I'm like, "Yeah, what's to me?"
Yeah.
And it was even worse when I got into poetry because it's like I remember like one of the first early gigs that I did, and a couple of the guys from London Met like came. And I was just watching, like, what the hell's going on? Imagine, like, imagine, like, I don't know. Obviously, I'm going to compare myself to LeBron because he's my favorite player. But imagine LeBron James suddenly, like, doing spoken word. Like, people will be like,
How did that happen?
Yeah.
But then, how did that happen for you? How did you transition from playing basketball
yeah.
to spoken word?
I mean,
poetry?
it was just like, so for me, I've always had a love of reading, even like from before ball, like primary school, secondary school, used to love reading. Some of our like road games, I remember like whilst we were playing, like we'd be talking about books like with guys like Emeka, Deji, whatever, talking about like our GCSE literature stuff, like Shakespeare, all this kind of stuff, yeah. And then like I still loved books throughout when I was playing, but I never thought writing was always something for, okay, maybe I'll do it when I'm older. Like I always had this thing where you had to be much older, much more experienced in life to have something to write about. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And at the stage that I was in life, I didn't think I had anything to write about. But all of a sudden, when I stopped playing ball, I just found myself able to write. So I kind of like had a lot of energy and a lot more free time, and was just able to express myself. And then randomly one day, shout out to Deng, he was just like, yeah, you got to go to an open mic and read some poems, like, and I'd never heard of an open mic. I like did not know what they were. I'd never been in that environment before. And I remember we went to a place, Troy Bar, just off Old Street, and I read my first like proper open mic there, and people was like, but I had one poem. I had that one poem, that love poem. Don't worry, I hate that poem. I just want to love her like a mother loves her. Oh my days, yeah.
It's the sickest.
I can't even remember it, but I had that one poem, and I used to go. And then after, like, when people loved it, I would go to like different spots with like one poem and then perform. So it'd still be new to the new audience, innit? Did that for a few months, and then after, like, you come back to the same place and then like, oh, you've done that poem before, like it's good, like, but have you got any more? And I was like, oh shit, I gotta write some more. And then I kept writing, and it just kind of kept unfolding.
But has it always been something easy just to kind of get a pen, just sit down and just?
I wouldn't necessarily say easy. Like it's just, I think everyone has their mode of like communicating and expressing themselves. And I think I just found what worked well for me. Like my little brother plays the trumpet, and he's basically like been a boy genius from like a long time. He teaches people like and composes music and stuff and whatever, and from a young age. But I've never been like that musically orientated like how he is. So
you play the guitar.
Yeah, but not.
You play the guitar as well.
But that's not like played it. Like listen, I can hold a couple. I'm a little nice, like you know, I'm a little like got a little fillet, like on the guitar. But I'm not nice, like. But like you know, there's people who's like nice, like you can confidently be like, this is what I do, like. And I think I just found what it is that worked best for me. And I just kind of kept on doing that. And each time, honestly, like each time, it's like you just fall in love with the process. You fall in love with the fact that you can create something out of nothing and then take it out there and then people will relate to it. And, you know, after certain gigs and stuff, I'd have people coming up to me saying, I didn't know how much I needed to hear that. I could relate to this poem so much. It's exactly what I was going through, this, that, and the third. And you would think that it's people who either like have the same background or same experience as you that would have that, but man, it was people from the furthest experience, from the most like different. I had like middle-aged white women from the Isle of Wight like breaking down from my poems and just being like, this is just what I was feeling, and I was like, how are you feeling that? And I'm feeling that, and I'm in ends, like, you know what I'm saying? But like that's the beauty of like art. I think, you know, it connects people from everywhere. So yeah, that's what I like. Just kind of feel I've been really privileged to be able to do that. To be honest,
that's dope, bro.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it.
Very, very dope, man. It's like it's crazy. Like that's us hearing your story from playing basketball to doing this, and I don't know. Like you've written one book already. You've got another one coming out. And you must be like excited about this second book. This second book coming out. Especially you said it's on masculinity, right? And it's called Mask Off.
Yeah.
Where did the inspiration for that name come from?
So
exactly what's going on.
Let me not even lie to you, but it was definitely Future.
See, I knew
it was 100. I can't even front. It was 100% Future. Mask Off. Now, like when did that come out? Was it summer 2016 or was it 2017? Maybe. Yeah. Was it?
I want to say 2017.
Is it older than that?
I think 2016.
I think 2016.
2016, yeah. Because March Madness was before.
March Madness was a while.
Yeah, it was maybe 2015 or.
Let's say 2016.
Let's say 2016, right? And I remember hearing that, and you know the flute, like that was just hypnotic to me. Do you know what I mean? Like that sample, like I was just like, yo, where does this sample come from? Like I have to find out. There's something in me that's just telling me, like I have to find out where this sample comes from. So I started doing a bit of research, and then I found out that I found a song, original song called "Prison Song" by Tommy Butler, which was written for the play Selma, which was about the Martin Luther King's led like marches back during the civil rights era. And then the song talks about, so the prison song talks about essentially police brutality, talks about, so it's a man singing who's been imprisoned, talking about his time in prison, talking about going back home to his wife, talking about longing for freedom. And I thought, like there was, at that time in the 1970s, like a black man playing this song, talking about this. Fast forward 20, 30 years later, there's another black man who sampled the same song, but talking about drugs and girls and sex and material stuff. And like, that's both representations of like masculinity at the time, right? And it's funny how music connects that, and just how much like music has informed, the way we see ourselves, like as people and as men particularly. Do you know what I'm saying? And so when I started to think deeper into that subject and draw the parallels and stuff, that was just like, right, the book kind of like unfolded from there naturally, But yeah, definitely like, Future's got, Future like, he's got his issues with toxic masculinity as well. So I like to think he's a good sample.
Do you know what's funny about what you just said? Like you said, like the original song talks about like brutality.
Yeah.
Those same things still exist today.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
So it's sick to make that connection. Man.
Yeah, man. And it's like the music isn't, well, at least the mainstream music, it's not so much talking about it in the same way, like as it was previously. So
unless you're like a Kendrick or Cole,
right?
Enjoying it, yeah, for real, yeah.
So. Yeah, man. But yeah, that was the source of that. So definitely shout out to Future for that one, I have to say. Otherwise, the book wouldn't exist,